Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Subway Builder, where we are continuing to expand our beautiful New York metro system. Guys, I really do appreciate all the comments on the last episode. You've really taught me a few things I did not realize about this game, and hopefully we can implement to make a better transit system. Now, in today's episode, what I want to do is I want to extend the green line kind of all the way down to Coney Island. I think that would be a great way to kind of finalize that line and then figure out how we can then crisscross a few additional lines on it and maybe potentially start thinking about expanding into New Jersey. We'll have to see. I'm not sure those New Yorkers like the idea of the foreigners across the Hudson, those New Jersey people, New Jerseyans, Jerseys. I'm not sure what they're quite called right now. I don't know if they like the idea of people from New Jersey being able to infiltrate New York. I don't know what. I assume there is a little bit of a rivalry. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. But apparently I missed a few things. You guys are telling me about elevation changes, which is really good. And we've got over 1 billion big ones in the bank right now to extend. So what we'll do is we'll first look at the lines, because I think you guys mentioned that I've missed a couple of stops on some of the lines. So hopefully we can kind of sort those out and get them back in. I think one of the big ones is the yellow line doesn't transfer on the blue line system. So let me quickly pause and we'll check this out. So if you are enjoying this series, oh my goodness, it actually doesn't, smash that like button down below, subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. I would greatly appreciate that, guys. I would greatly appreciate it. Yes, so the yellow line didn't stop on those two. Maybe that's why we hadn't seen that issue arise for quite some time. Maybe that is the reason why we didn't see it kind of appear. So I'll confirm those changes, and it now makes me want to check out all the other routes. So for example, the green line right now, if I was to edit this route, I've just got to double check that it does reach all the stops, because now I'm kind of, doubting myself that I might have messed something up. No, the green route is completely fine. So discard changes on the green route. I didn't really make any changes anyway. The red line, I'm going to double check this. So it's better to be safe than sorry. There's a double connection there, double connection, all double connections leading all the way up. Great stuff. And then the blue line, let me just quickly check this one. So you've got your single connection, double, single. Yes. Right, they're now all back in. So for those who spotted that in the last episode, you are absolutely amazing right now. I didn't realize I completely forgot to add the connections back in. Appreciate it, guys, which could now mean that we start to see more transfer happen on this station. That could be quite interesting right now. You can see that the stations either side of it on that blue line were so much more busier because they couldn't transfer here. I should have realized with that number being so low. But there we go. Very good, very good, very good. Now, in terms of our route ridership, you can see that the red line has now since increased, even though the the yellow line overtook in the last episode of how dominant it was going to be. But things are about to change. So I want to see the second thing you guys told me about right now in the last episode, and I think we can implement that with sorting this green line extension out. So here we have Coney Island. I believe this is Coney Island, right? Or is this? No, this is definitely Coney Island, right? This is definitely Coney Island, guys. We are going to now create a station from down here and then expand all the way up, which will then connect up to the green line as this big glorious extension right now. This is going to be absolutely beautiful, unless the alternative is, unless I pick that to be a transition station that merges onto the line that's going to run up the right side of Manhattan. I'll decide when we get there. So we're going to start it, and I think following this road up is perfect, providing we have the demands. So this is the residential demands rolling up there. It's pretty solid going up. The workers are few and far between. There's a few down there, but that's deserving for its own separate line. And a few around here. So yeah, I think we should stick to this road. This could be a good idea. So we're going to build stations, and you guys told me to check the elevation. So minimum tunnel depth, it shows me what the buildings to go under them, what you need, a minimum of 10 on all these buildings around. So following this route going all the way up, nothing changes at all. And where's my station? Until a couple of the buildings around here kind of appear. So as long as I stay by a minimum of 10 when we get to those areas, we shouldn't have any issues. Appreciate that, guys. That is going to change everything right now for me. So we'll start then with said station just here, okay? So we'll do one there, and then we're going to do it every so often to maximize the coverage. So we'll do the next one then just here. So we've got the bend involved. This is looking pretty good. So I'll do the next one then just there. And I'm going to do the next one just there. Next one can go just here. So this is glorious. So this is Ocean Parkway, by the way. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So how far are we taking this before we got to start bending? We actually can go a little bit further. Now, looking for us, we do have over $1 billion in the bank, so this works out pretty well in terms of spending the dollar bills. Right, we'll do one just here on the junction. And like I said, I am following the road up, but now at this point, we got to decide whether we're going straight through, following it round, making our way up to this point through the park area, and then following that up, which logically could be the better idea. It could be the better idea. So let's view how much this is going to cost first. 600 million. I'm going to commit to those station blueprints. There we go. Now, the demand stats, we've got to go from there to there in whatever way. Workers, it doesn't really matter at all. It doesn't really matter. It's just how I want to transition it. So is the green line going to be the line that goes all the way down to Coney Island? Or are we going to utilize the brand new line that runs on the right-hand side going down to Coney Island? Because that, if it was started there and came down, it would make sense to crisscross that, and then make its way down. And then the green line can make its way down this way into Brooklyn. The yellow line can probably make its way down to the airport. And then we'll have other lines that kind of come through. I think a brand new line on this makes sense. And I think this might be our pink line. I think that's what we'll kind of call it. So we need to then figure out where the crisscrossing the two stations on these two lines, that pink line is going to do. So we need the minimum depth, which it's completely fine here, but I don't know what the depth is of these. So I've now got to go to a minimum depth of 10. Okay. So for us, we've got to figure out where this is now all going to work. So the whole line's going to be a minimum depth of 10. And it's a case of where are we running this? So I think we're definitely going to have a station here on this pink line. And then that's where we're going to connect it from. I've just got to then figure out how we cut across there. So I think in regards to this, I think having the station there, it's classed as two different stations there. So can I undo? How do I delete that blueprint? Delete track. Build station. So what if I came here instead? I'm not sure if it's treated as different stations, but they do touch. Do these get treated as different stations? I'm not sure if they do. Do they? They do, but they still work. So I don't think there's any issues with that. So I then just got to figure out eventually where the connecting point there is. But more importantly, I now figure out this. So we need to bring it down to there. So I could follow this road up now and then decide where to run it in. So the green line comes down this way instead. So my crossover station will take place literally here. Well, let me do it at an angle for the train tracks. And then there might be room for one more here, maybe. I don't know. It's just how I'm then getting that, which I don't know if the -10... The -10, does it cost more? I built 3 stations. It doesn't really cost more, does it? No. But let's stick to our guns first. I'll keep it to a -5 along here. So I'll have a station, then we'll put it about there. And then I've got to then... Right, this is where it gets interesting. So, got it to there. I'm following the road because it's the most buildable sense. Even though I could do -10 and it could go through, I've got to bring that crossing down. So, now we'll do -10 again. We'll now start going -10 on all of them. So, I'll do one last one crossing on the junction because you could have something going this way. And then that, I think, let's just see on the stats. There is residential, no workers, but there is a nice residential point there. So I think a last station that bridges the gap between them two to go around about here. And I think we've got it. So build station. We'll implement it just here. And then that's it running all the way down. Oh, that is a long line. So let's commit then. We're on the -10. Do I commit to something here? So workers. Yes, there is workers and residential there that we could really benefit from giving them a station. So I'll implement that there. So even though it's on the -10, it just says, you know, minimum depth 10 to 14. There's still a potential that we could have to drop it down further. So building those blueprints cost me 500 million. So commit to those. And now we have this new pink line that we're going to extend. And we'll start in Coney Island. We'll bring it all the way up. And then we'll figure out how far and how often we're going to kind of make it crisscross and connect. So this is actually probably my most expensive, and this is definitely going to be my longest line to date, and it's my 5th line I'm actually going to create. This is exciting, guys. So let's commit to all this then. We've got to build tracks, and we'll keep this to a 5 because that's what the stations are at. And we'll add our crossover in now just so I don't forget. So building the rest of this, can I go for the full turn there? It does it no problem. There to there. Very good. So everything so far hunky-dory, as they say. Hunky-dory, boys. Oh, also something else as well. Apparently, I'm using too many trains on my low demand lines. You guys pointed that out, which I completely agree. So we need to sort that out as well. Oh, no, it's deleting stuff. Hold on, delete tracks. Delete that, build tracks, and let me go like this and use that as my kind of guidance. So if I do that and then go there to there and there to there, it's not perfect, but it shall do. So this is where we now incorporate the -10. So just going direct almost works out. Okay. Apart from deleting one building. So we'll go to a -14. So I'll go there first. And -14 worked out really well. So just for the sake of having any issues, we'll build that. And then that works at -14. Glorious. So maybe we should have gone to -14, but it just works by just bringing out a line first and then getting them connected. That works just as good. So to there, to there. Right, that is all the lines built in, but obviously I don't have enough money to commit to this build. And that's going to cost me 936 million at this point. So while I don't commit to those blueprints just yet, all right, let's get off the minimum depth there. What I can do to save a bit of money to technically then make a little bit more money is reducing the amount of trains on the lines. So I'm out of trains there. I don't need the same amount on the minimum demand, so I could, in reality, get rid of one there. And yeah, so let's just go back to the green. Trains, I could get rid of 1, 2 there potentially. Now, it doesn't change this, though. We've still got high demand and frequency and all that kind of sweet, sweet jazz. But I don't need to run them, so when it's quiet, I'm just going to drop them down. And then the yellow line, drop them down as well. So it saves me more money when it's quieter. But I do need to buy some more. So is that enough? I'm hoping that's then enough trains at that point. And see how we get on. So let's go on the daily again. And this is what we're making right now. So once we incorporate this brand new pink line, oh boys, things are going to change. Things are going to change around here. I'm spending money like crazy. Which is incurring, I'm assuming, like some form of maintenance costs. But this is my biggest project yet. So I've got to figure out then, once I commit to it, we'll start building additional stations. We have a station there that reaches that. Having a station then, because there's 2 stations here, I've got to then figure out, do I want 2 to bridge the gap, or do you reckon 1? 1, which is utilized for the 2 of them. I don't think I'll ever have something running down both of these, but we'll do 1 centered. There's no need for 2 because of how the angles are then working. And then we'll just go up regularly with the stops, crossing over there. And I would like to have it go as far as this one, so it extends as far. But it all comes down to the money, doesn't it, boys? Like many things in this game, it all comes down to the cash. Yeah. Is what it is. It is what it is. So, right. This is looking pretty good so far then. It's currently about to strike midnight. And, okay, we're on the next day. So, where's our profit? Our profit there was 386 million in that single day. Could you imagine making that much money in real life every day? Ooh, damn. It's pretty good, isn't it? It is pretty good. All right, so this day is when we were able to commit to all of this. That's when we're able to commit to all of that. And I don't know whether to kind of just get in the line to this point, and then we'll then work on buying the rest after. Because I can then at least get the line working. It does crisscross 2 lines, so that's helpful. Which then also crisscross a 3rd line, the red line. And that will enable me then to start earning revenue until I'm able to afford the rest of it. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. So it's almost 4 a.m. in the morning. So this is where I'm running the least amount of trains. I could probably also even reduce some more. We've managed to get our transit up to 3.8%. So we are taking some dinks out of the driving, but we still got vast areas to cover. Huge, vast areas still to cover. So rush hour should slowly start beginning shortly. It's like medium demand now, isn't it? And then we'll start seeing the big revenue rising in. And it slowly starts to get a little bit busier. So how much did I need to commit to kind of build those blueprints? They were 936 million. So we're almost 100 million off. Sounds a lot, but we're making and starting to make some serious dollar bills right now. So I wonder how this pink line is going to change. Let's have a prediction. I predict the pink line to become straight away the busiest and most used line out of all of them. I'm going to predict that now. That prediction is when I get it up and running and it ends at this station for now. That's my prediction there. Because it's the only line in this untapped territory. Whereas the lines here, you know, if you were in this building, if you were here, you could quite walk to all 3 lines. So that one passenger has 3 options. Whereas down at Coney Island and towards Brooklyn area, they've only got 1 option. So it could be interesting. I know the population's completely different. So we'll see. We'll see, boys. We'll see. So we've almost got enough money, but I am realizing if I'm going to utilize this station here to be the end one at the minute, I'm going to need to build a crossover, which is going to add to the costs. So it's added an extra 12 million on top, or 15 million. So build blueprints, bam, we've committed to those. So in theory, I could now build the pink line. Ooh. But then my next issue is affording all the trains to be able to run them on the line. Yeah, right, let's start in Coney Island then. So, lines, new routes. We're going to make it pink. It is going to be called the pink line. Not sure what I'm going to do when I run out of colours. We'll start going like, you know, light blue line and stuff like dark blue line. Create the route. So on the pink line, we're going to edit the route. We're going to start here. And then we're going to make our way go all the way up. So a little bit long-winded because of the amount of stations I've got on. But this is starting to become like a fully fledged line right now. This is starting to make sense. We have distance to cover, passengers to move from homes and to work into Manhattan. All right, all the way up to there. And then we're making our way back. So long line will require a lot more trains to increase the frequency. There we go. Down here. Boom. Boom. Oi, oi. What you doing, boy? What you doing? Boom, boom. Boom. And then returns back. So confirm those. Then we need to do trains. So this is where I can't afford to do it now. So we'll start instantly by putting 10 on each train. Okay, we'll just straight go for the capacity boost, okay? Because it's going to be limited to where it can crisscross over, it's going to pick up a bulk of people on these 2 stations. So we'll do 1 of each. Okay, 1 of each. So quite a high demand. We'll do 2. We'll then go for 4. And then I'll go... Okay, we instantly ran out of trains. So we'll buy $100 million worth. And how far can I go before I run out again? So 6, and we've run out again. I'll spend 25 million. So we've got 6 on that. And we'll see how we're definitely going to need a lot more than 6. Especially when we choose to extend it further up. But I think for now, we'll keep it like that. And my pink line is now operational. This is good stuff. I'm liking this. I'm liking this quite a lot. And once it continues up, beautiful. Then we can start going into New Jersey because we have all the main 4 lines running north and south of Manhattan, the island itself. So I did say I could see it becoming number one pretty quickly, but now I'm contradicting myself. I'm thinking maybe it's not going to. We'll have to wait until it maybe fully extends all the way up, maybe. But it hasn't had a full proper day to move passengers, so the next day we'll have a full day, then we'll see how we get on with that. Right. While all that happens then, we've got to now slowly... I wonder if just actually getting it up and running now, we've made more profit. Over 400 million, nice. So this next day should bring us quite a large chunk of change. So in theory, I should be able to start affording all the additional stations. So build station. And we are going to have to stick this one by a minus 14. I could do multiple, but it means that we are going to have to start doing diagonal stations. So I'm going to do a diagonal station there. And I don't think... Actually, I'm only going to do one. I'm only going to do one station here. And I'll incorporate it... just there. Just on the park area. Could it be something that we have to adjust in the future? Maybe. Do I see a line running this way? No. If anything, it will run there. So this space is up and open. Do you think we need another station in this area? Am I being too stingy? Okay, let's say, hypothetically, I was to add an additional station. So the obvious thing will be to do is to add, let's say, this one here. And then add... there. And it mimics the line going down. Maybe we could move that one a bit more forward. Although that one is pretty close, but it's the amount of people that live in this vicinity. I could do it like this. There. Oh, I don't like how I've done. No, undo. That's better. Now, obviously, I don't have the funds to do this, and I'm building it all in the building, so it's going to be super expensive. But to run there, then to run there, and then to run to there, and then instantly reduce the costs as we're able to then go normally then. So, yeah, I think 2 stations is probably better. It is probably better. Now, that's 475 million to get to that point. So we should now be able to do -5 running the whole distance up then at this point. So all I've got to do is just mimic where the stations crisscross here. And then that will give me... See, knowing what I know now, I could have redone that station to be in a straight line. I still could, but I'm not going to mess around with it. Right, you go there. And then we have one that does crisscross here. So it's kind of making it a little bit more distance in between. And we'll go there. 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 And then the final one. Just there. So this is going to be very expensive. It's already up to over $1 billion to get all this in. But I'm not going to build anything else, and I'm not going to extend any other lines until they're all in general. So I might as well just now commit to the build. Now, the reason I've got them the way that I've got them positioned is so when we decide to do the Queens and Brooklyn to New Jersey lines, they cross over each station on each line. So we've gone for like a grid effect, very much like the road network in New York. Grid effect. And obviously we'll have to add a crossover just there. Knowing what I know now, I also would never have put all the crossovers on the other lines. And that fully extends then the pink line going all the way up. That is going to be a long line needing many, many trains, which is why I say it's going to be the busiest route of all of them. Damn, son. The damn. Right, so to build that then, we need 1.28 billion with a B, baby. Billy with a B. Billy with a B. Very ambitious. Very ambitious right there. Very ambitious. So while we wait for the money to come in, the pink line is now in third place. So you know what? It's not that far off being number one. So maybe I wasn't too wrong. Maybe I wasn't too wrong, but I have a feeling it could potentially double the passengers the yellow line has once we have extended it further up. That does sound slightly worrying. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Does sound slightly worrying, doesn't it? Anywho, boys. Anywho. It's not too bad, is it? Right, let's look at the stations then for a second. So station ridership. So that's now increased in numbers since we actually got them fully connected. There's big crossover points here. That's crazy to see right now, the big crossover points. So that's my biggest crossover point there. Once it extends, the passengers will move further up, and then that stop there will be a big crossover point. It's further up. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So here's the demands right now. We've now got it down to 5%. So when we start seeing more blue colours, that's because we've got more people now using the public transport network. Obviously, we're trying to change Manhattan. That's going to be one that changes more than anything else. And we will eventually get there. But this is looking pretty good. There's the worker side of it. Love the fact that we got our crisscross right directly on top of this, though. That little bit of a worker hub. Not bad, is it? It is not bad. So we do need a bit more cash then. We do need a bit more cash. Now, while we wait, I'm going to take a look at all this other stuff then. We've got signal lines. We've got the minimum depth. So there is stuff that does need like a minus 26 to 30. And that is stuff with buildings just over here. There's a few there. I can see why I was having the issues. See, I would have to go to minus 22 to kind of get through that building. There's a lot of stuff down here as well. This is really interesting. What's the airport like? Does the airport have like a big depth? Nah, that's all normal, isn't it? Interesting to know that not much stuff goes lower than 10 to 14 meters. It's pretty interesting to know. And I don't think there's anything else that is really a big issue. So we ain't really digging that. I thought we would have to dig a lot deeper in New York because of all the skyscrapers and stuff like that. But maybe the foundations don't sink that deep on some of the buildings. Maybe. Maybe. Right, so. Get rid of this for just a minute. What is the revenue saying now then? So we've, oh my goodness me, we had on the previous day, day 34, a half a bit. I'm not going to say 500 million. I'm going to say half a billion because it sounds better. $500 million in operational profit. That's scary, isn't it? That is scary. Yes, please, guys. Yes, please, right now. So we now officially got half the money required to complete the remainder of this line. Damn. Ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous. So where do we have planned for crossover points? So the blue line does exactly what we want it to do. I will have another line that runs with the yellow and the green on these points and then continues to go north. So that will be a case of where the green line might continue to go down this way. We'll have another line that starts there that then merges with the green that goes into New Jersey. And then we can have a line that kind of then crosses all of them. Same with the yellow. I feel like the yellow line might be the line that runs all the way to the airport. And then we have another line that kind of comes down that could run this way and then head up to this part of Long Island. I'm not sure what this area here is called, but that's what it's pretty much all about. It's just finding where we can crisscross and where we can move along and just be like super efficient. And the blue line can eventually merge. It might be a case of like we run multiple lines to the airport. I don't know if this game has that knowledge of an airport's always going to be super busy, you know, tens of thousands of passengers a day. I'm not sure. But we'll definitely also have another line that cuts through here. Either this run there or that run there. It's going to cut through. And then we'll also have another one that cuts through there. So there's multiple points where you can crisscross on all the lines to get to wherever you need to get to. But the lines that cut through, they need to make sense. They need to go to areas that make the most sense. Like that's going to obviously run around like there. That's going to run up. Other line cutting through this way that cuts through all the crisscrosses. It's about building this spider web of a network. That's the idea behind it. Right, I may have committed too much to this build. I may have committed a little bit too much right now. Because, yes, we are earning the revenue. Right? We are earning the revenue. But it's a bit... I've committed to way too much of a high price, haven't I? Oh, it's hilarious. It is hilarious right now. It is hilarious. Right. Ridership right now. The pink line is not far behind the red line. It really is not that far. And to be honest with you, it's not really that far behind the yellow line when you think about it. It's only at 10,000 passengers. Ah, that pink line is going to be my number one. My number one route. Right. Let's wait till we got enough money. Right, we've got the transit times coming back in right now, and they're hailing a victory for me. We connected 72 stations via 5 routes. Nearly 500,000 passengers were riding yesterday alone. James says, it's actually working. Nice. Back to business. So, the pink line is now about to transform because I'm now going to commit to building the blueprints. That's 1.2 billion just gone instantly like that. Scary, right? Absolutely scary. The pink line itself, we're now going to edit the route. And we're going to zoom right in. So 13 to 14 to 15. And so on and so on and so on and so on. This is going to need so many trains, by the way. This is going to be redonkulous. And then back down again. Very good, very good. So 34, 35, 36. Yes, it continues as normal. So let's confirm those changes, which means it's going to need so many more trains. So we'll up that to 3. No, we'll up that to low demand 4. We'll up that to 6. We'll up this. Well, I can't really up it because I need more trains. I'll spend 100 million on some new ones and up that to 10. So the frequency is every 8 minutes. I'm not sure if those numbers are pretty good. That train is super busy, but that's because I've just had to add more trains to the line. So it'll hopefully catch itself up in just a moment. And then the frequency should reduce how each train's capacity then pretty much becomes. What do you reckon on the numbers, guys? What do you reckon high demand, medium demand, and low demand frequency numbers should be? Or do you reckon it's just line based? You know, each one's going to be different anyway. So there's no point stressing or worrying about it. But look at my pink line now. Look at that. Is that not ridiculous? Or is that not ridiculous right now? Right, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. And then we'll kind of judge what the ridership is then on that pink line. It's going to be a crazy number. I can already see it. But what I could do is look at station ridership. And we can see that that number should start to increase. As that's my new crossover route just there. Right, let's take a look. Route ridership. it's already number one. Of course, it was going to be number one, but we have to wait for another full day to actually see what the physical number is at the very end. But other than that, oh, we got I'm about to say we've had no warnings, but we do have warnings. So I think we might need to up this to, I reckon we have to up this to 12. Is it 12 or are we on medium demand right now? How do we know what the hours. So we've just entered medium demand, right? But is that a train from, we've just entered medium demand, but I'm going to assume that's a train from the high demand era. Let me buy another 100 millions worth. So I might do 12, I might do 8, and then keep it like that. Or keep that on 6. I don't know. It's a tricky one, this one is. I don't see us ever breaching more than what we require on medium demand. But that train was from high demand because we only just got to medium demand. So it was a train that was carrying passengers still from the high demand scenario. So there we go. So we're up to 5.5. We could still do a lot better. We still could do a lot better right now. We still could do a lot better. But we are now slowly transforming, which is good. Reaching more people. We're kind of reaching the same people in Manhattan. We're going to start thinking about how we can extend the lines a little bit further. It's not a problem. And in the route ridership, that number will just keep increasing, and the next day it should get even higher as well. This is good. So it's now a case of re-looking at the lines and then understanding, is 4 too many? I think 4's okay on that line, the yellow line. 2's okay, red line. 2's okay, green line. Okay, now it's becoming medium. So it's a bit hard to judge. But I think we're okay. I don't think we're going to have any issues now. He says, not very confidently. Pink line has got... Oh, pink line is at capacity. So what's the reason for that then? What is the time? The time is nearly 6:30. So 6:30 falls under high demand, but 6:30 is the transition from medium to high. So you could argue one of the trains on the pink train was at high capacity from medium demand. So I'm just going to add one additional train in. It's just finding that balance, isn't it? There's a train there super busy. I mean, I don't want to have to add more in. I mean, I couldn't anyway. I'm just going to add more trains. Maybe add 14 to increase more frequency. Is that stupid then at this point? Or is it a case of it now just goes to show I need more crossovers, so I'm not kind of overloading one train when it gets to a crossover station? You know what I mean? Where was that train? I mean, can you view trains? Follow train? It's here. So it picked up from there when it became like super busy. So yeah, we could probably do with additional crossover routes. So we're not completely overloading this line. But other than that, right, operational profit did go up, but today it should be even higher. And I'm really excited about that. So what I reckon we do, guys, I reckon we end it here right now. Let me know what you think would be the perfect move next. Do we now start to look at maybe just typically extending the lines that I currently have, making them go a little bit further? Or do you think I should now start implementing a couple of additional crossover routes just to kind of alleviate the pains and trials and tribulations of overloading certain stations on these lines? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We're going to be reaching 200,000 on the pink line. That is coming very, very quickly right now. Demands, we're going to be pushing 6% on transit at some point as well, which is very good to see. Very good to see. But we need to start thinking about look at that, we're at capacity again. So it's 6:30 p.m. High demand starts at 6. Oh no, it's in the afternoon, that is already. So this is within high demand territory. I can't add any more trains to it. So that could be alleviated by having more lines cross over in different places, not to overload a single train on a single station on a single line. So I reckon that's what we're going to have to do, boys. I reckon that's what we're going to have to do. Not bad. I like it when we get some issues. It means we got to work and figure something out. Right, we're going to end it here, guys. My New York subway transit line is looking pretty good. Beautiful expansions right now. Oh, that pink line is looking glorious. Until next time, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.